Good afternoon, everybody. Going to go over our Forex trades for today, Friday, October 28th. I had 3 trades, finished about flat. Trades that got closed out last night or this morning, whether they were made their profit target or stopped out. But basically flat, size adjusted up 0.3 pips, so not a whole lot to report. We'll go over the trades in a minute. But the economic news I wanted to get into, a little kind of interesting. Last night, Japan's CPI, which is their inflation calculation, came out with deflationary numbers. So of actually deflation of 0.55%, so a 0.5% of deflation. So you have a country with a 10-year bond that has negative interest rates, and they still can't create inflation. They're in deflation. It's absolutely incredible. To make matters worse, the Japanese government reported unemployment rate ticked down to 3% from 3.1%, and that happened as the number of employed workers dropped by 150,000. So the government is telling you, very similar to the U.S. government, the Japanese government is saying that their number of employed workers dropped by 150,000 people, yet somehow the unemployment rate went down. Incredible. And you can't make this stuff up. It gets worse on this morning's news. So this morning, this morning, United States, Michigan sentiment missed estimates. Not that big of a deal there, but another economic data point that missed estimates. U.S. consumer confidence crashed to 2-year lows. That's pretty much a big deal because our economy relies on the consumer so much. So that's not good. And then the big number was the GDP number. So this is the first number released by the GDP for the GDP for the third quarter, and it will be revised 1 or 2 more times. I forget. I believe 2 more times, but it sounded great. It actually came out at 2.9% growth, higher than the 2% estimate, and it beat as inventories and exports rose, which were offset by consumption and investment. Well, consumption makes sense because consumer confidence is down. So this is what makes this so great. And you can't make this stuff up. According to the U.S. government, the GDP number, soybean exports accounted for 1/3 of the exports. Can you believe this? The government is trying to tell us of the billions and billions of dollars and merchandise that gets exported out of America, that soybeans accounted for 1/3 of all exports. And in fact, if you take away the soybean exports, the inventory buildup, which that is inventory buildup, that doesn't mean it's a sale, right? So that inventory might not get exported out. And if you exclude Obamacare, along with excluding soybeans and inventory, the U.S. GDP grew by only 0.9%, far short of the 2% estimate and far short of the 2.9% number that they reported. This, folks, I swear, you can't make it up. Anyway, let's get to the trades. So first trade you're looking at here is Aussie dollar. They were all swing trades. We had 20% of our normal size. We were short this from 0.76204. Our target was 0.7587. Actually got filled 0.75871, picking up 33.3 pips. Size adjusted 6.6. Solid trade. Euro yen was another solid trade. We were long this from 114.70. Our target was 115.10. Got filled at 115.10.2. We were showing resistance at 115.15, which it did get to, went through it, and ran all the way up to 115.30. So we definitely left some on the table, but we picked up 40.2 pips, or size adjusted 8.0. Let me just go back to that Aussie dollar real quick. So it hit our target, broke through it, bounced, and then really really broke through it. So both trades, we definitely left something on the table. But they were our targets, and it went there in a relatively short period of time for a swing trade. The problem was in the Euro-Aussie trade. We really thought the Euro was going to be weak against the Aussie. We were short this from 1.43000, really never in the money. You know, we were up in the neighborhood of not even 20 pips, about 17 or 18 pips. And it actually happened overnight while we weren't even watching, when we were actually up a little bit of money. And then it just, all day yesterday, it went against us, and we got stopped out 1.43713 for a loss of 71.3 pips or 14.3 pips. And, you know, it happened, fortunately, and we got stopped out. Good thing we had our stop in, because look what happened. It's continuing the run. So in the end, basically flat after those 3 trades, down a hair after commission. So not a big deal. Unfortunately, we had the Euro-Aussie trade, because the Euro-Yen and the Aussie dollar were both very, very good trades. No scalp trades and no correlation. So we'll move on to Monday. Let's hope for some better action. Market's been very, very frustrating lately. Just not a lot of volume at all, and the liquidity's low. Economic news is terrible, but yet nothing's happening. It's extremely frustrating. Anyway, so that's it. We're going to wrap it up. If you're still trading now, good luck. We'll be back Monday, assuming we get some action either Sunday night or Monday morning. Have a great, great weekend.